I'm Rye, your Codega, here to lead you through the shadows of the unknown. My journeys have carried me across hidden corners of the world to places steeped in wonder, whispers, and unanswered questions. Walk with me as we uncover ancient civilizations, unravel unexplained phenomena, and chase the legends that refuse to die. Welcome to Codega's Codex of Curiosities. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Codega's Codex of Curiosities. It's an impromptu live, kind of like how I always do it, and I hope everyone is doing well this February the 14th, this lovely Valentine's Day. Did you guys go out? Did you go out for a date? Did you go out for dinner? Did you go out for anything? Let me know. Let's see what you guys did. Hey, Carol, how are you doing this evening? So, I decided just to throw together just a short live tonight. I'm coming on to first of all talk a little bit about the upcoming Codex Book Club Society that I have. So what this is I have a book club that I'm going to be starting. And what is that? That is where we're all going to be reading a book together. Okay, I'm going to pick the book. We're going to read it together. And from there, we will have discussions, members only, though, live discussions. Okay, and we'll have these every 2 weeks. And what they will be just us discussing the chapters that we have gone through. Now, which books are we going to pick? Well, that's a great question. So we're going to start off with books of my guests. Okay, and the first one will be from Brad Olson. So if those who have not watched any of my episodes, Brad Olson is all about Antarctica, and he's written a book, The Untold History of the Ice Continent. Okay, and Brad's been to Antarctica himself. And for those who want to see what the book looks like, I'm going to show you guys here right here. Let's do this. All right. So here we go. This is Secrets of Antarctica, The Untold History of the Ice Continent, okay, by Brad Olson. And you can pick this book up on Amazon, or you can pick it up on cccpublishing.org. And you can pick that up. Yeah, there are 2 live shows on. Which one should I choose? Great question, Jacqueline. So we are now given an option to actually go to 2 locations, and you can choose either one. It's exactly the same. It's not like 2 locations. One is in the vertical and one is in the horizontal. Yeah, so it gives us these 2 options. So I'm giving this a try. This is the first time I'm doing this, so we'll see how it goes. Apparently there's a lot of people watching right now, which is surprising. So yeah, so we're going to be starting this book club. If you are a member, I was going to make it for the second tier, but I'm going to do it for all members. Like I said, we're going to be starting this in 2 weeks' time. And what I'm going to do is, for anybody who is on the second tier, okay, whoever's watching, and you are on the second tier, I will be giving away 3 ebooks of this. So if you want in, please send me an email at codexofcuriosities@gmail.com. As long as you are in the second tier. So Jacqueline, you're watching the horizontal one. Yeah, so you're watching the bigger one. There is the vertical one. So if you want into this book club and you want to read and then to have these discussions about this book, which is fantastic, we will do that. And like I say, if you're in the second tier, let me know and I'll put your name in for a draw. And you guys can win one of these free ebooks. I have 3 to give away, and we'll go from there. So if that sounds interesting, if you guys are interested into that, make sure you guys are a YouTube member, members only. And oh, speaking of which, I think I can give out some new memberships this month. So that's what I'm going to do. Why not? Let's do it. Give me 1 second here so I'm going to do that right now. And we are going to get some memberships out, some free random memberships. Let us do this here. All right. Engage with your audience. Here we go. Membership gifting. Send 5 now. All right. So we're giving out 5 free memberships right now for whoever is watching. Mountain Man Explore the Truth, Diana Marr, excellent. Pissy Pixie, Leanne, East Coast Crawler, and Josuan Scene. All right. Close out YouTube, then reload. All right, here we go. Now I am going to exit out of that. All right, let's close that down. And here we are back to me. Yes, so that is what we're going to do. That's the new and exciting thing is the Codex Book Club Society. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy that. I'm actually really looking forward to it because I need a push to read more. And by saying that I'm going to do that, that is fantastic. So again, it's the Codex Society Book Club. Okay, I know I kind of messed that up a couple of times, but it's the Codex Society Book Club. And with that, let's move on. Okay, and like I said, this is just going to be a short one tonight. I'm going to talk about the Epstein files. Who isn't talking about the Epstein files, right? What are you guys' take on it? I think it is one of the biggest bombshells and realization that we are at this alone. Okay. That there definitely is, and I don't want to say 2 tiers of society at all. I don't even consider them part of the society. I consider them completely other race. I think that there is a completely different race. Is it a symbiotic type of race that is happening, or possession type thing that is happening right now? What has been coming out? What is coming out of these files is stuff that is just it's horrific, absolutely horrific. And the names that are coming out, like there's not many that are being that are not in this list, and it really tells us that everybody who's been trying to hide it or to gaslight us to tell us that it doesn't exist is in one way or another involved with this. Hey, Griffin Eagle, how you doing? So, yeah, so the biggest thing, everyone, is just be careful. It's a deep, dark hole, and it's kind of like Nietzsche would say, when you stare at the abyss, you gotta, the abyss stares back into you, meaning don't let it change you. And if it's too difficult, too hard, don't go into it. But no, you can't ignore it. You have to know that this stuff is actually out there. The stuff is actually happening. I don't know if you guys like, of course, years ago we had Pizzagate. Okay. And if you don't know what Pizzagate is, and I'm probably going to get doxxed for saying this on YouTube, but Pizzagate was allegedly code words for ordering younger humans. Okay. To do what with? That's that's a little, they use food to represent certain things. Okay. We don't know exactly. They were trying to figure out what each kind of thing meant, but it was very, very disturbing. Of course, it was discredited. Mainstream news was all over it, saying, "Oh, this is a QAnon thing, and um, this is QAnon and nothing else." But it's so much more. And now, with the release of these 3 million papers, we know that it was something more. But now, the terminology, there is still mention of pizza, but there's another term that is coming up, and it is probably the most e- disturbing one. It's jerky, and I'm never going to look at beef jerky again in that, you know, I'm never going to look at it again in like I used to. The mention of jerky comes up, I believe it's like close over to 300 times in these emails. And it is all talking about a type of food. Okay. And they talked about the preparation. Epstein he was going to a location to learn how to prepare jerky at a restaurant. And I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you the name of this restaurant. It is called Cannibal. Okay? That's the name of the restaurant. I know there was something else attached to it. It was a cannibal something, but it was Cannibal. And they're learning how to prepare jerky. Now, Epstein is talking about jerky all the time. There are people emailing him, asking him for more jerky. Epstein was talking about getting back onto a regular diet so that he'll have to come off of jerky. What is jerky? Okay. Someone also said in one of those emails that they will walk the jerky over to them. What kind of jerky is walking? That is so, Jacqueline, you said, I think if it's a pizza party, it could be a ritual sex magic. Yes, I do believe, but with underage people. I believe that I think pizza is in reference to underage people. All of this is a sex magic. All of this is we're cattle. Okay. And I've heard that before, like, "Oh, yeah, we're cattle." No, now I am really believing it. We live in a world that is run like, there is this we are the cattle. We are oblivious to this all. So many of us are, and it's still just starting to come to light to see this stuff, where many are still in denial. They don't believe it, or they're more than happy to throw one political leader under the bus, just as long as I saw him on the list. He's on the list, and throw that. Like, this isn't a left versus right issue anymore. They want you to think it's a left versus right. They want you to think it's a black versus white, or white versus colored, or men versus women, or straight versus homosexual. It's yeah, it looks like they found a piece of jerky. I'm assuming they'll be checking the DNA. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and grape juice as well, Jacqueline. You're correct. Grape juice as well. Now, it's and like I said, I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on. In the end, you can't be on the political spectrum anymore. It's like we've gotten to a point where the political spectrum should be catering to us. They should be trying to do what we want. But in the end, right now, it's completely the other way around. We are cheerleading for the right, or cheerleading for the Republicans, or cheerleading for the Democrats. We're cheerleading for that president. We're cheerleading for that other president, or that former president. Why? Why are we doing that? They don't give a crap about us at all. At all. The only way that they care, the only to what degree they care, is just to keep us placated. Okay. And it I've been thinking about this here for a while. It's so absolutely disturbing. Goes on with one area being the Cuban and Zelensky lady that is a good listen and love. Yeah, Zelensky is a whole other. Zelensky's mentioned into the Epstein files as well. Hey, Cal, how you doing? Yeah, I want to know what cream cheese babies are. Oh, I don't know if I want to know, Jacqueline. I don't know. Yeah, what kind of jerky is packed in an ice bag for moving it? Yeah, the, we're all being played. We're all cattle. We're all being played. In the end, you have both political parties, you know, just doing what they do. It's all it is you shift. Okay, so like one political party's in charge, and now we're going to shift and we're going to attack them for not doing something. And as soon as the next one is, then we're going to shift and attack them for doing something. But it's all scripted. It's all scripted. If you watched the Pam Bondi deposition, I don't know. Did anybody else think it was as a big of a joke as I did? Um, I like she started to laugh at one of her responses. I think she started to laugh because it was so outrageous of what she had to say. I don't think I think she's an actress. I think a lot of these people are actors and actresses, and this is the script they have to. But do you see the Dow Jones? You know, your 401k. Wow, do you see that? Who cares about the Epstein victims? And I don't want to say victims, I'm going to say survivors. Who cares about the Epstein survivors? Look how your 401k is doing. Isn't that fantastic? What? What in the like, she did not answer one question. It was about 99% deflection and attacking as well. I I just don't know. I only do because I need to get past the trauma reaction, which keeps us from getting past the enemies. Yeah, fair enough, Jacqueline. It's true. It's true. We do need to know. Bottom line, I think is we need to know so that we'll do something. And I'm going to tell you, um, changing your bio. Okay, and maybe some of you have done this in the past. I've been tempted many, many times to do this, but I've never did this. But changing your profile picture, maybe to like a black, to black, or to put the ring around there, like I support this or I support that. It means nothing. It really means nothing. I think it kind of, in my personal opinion, I'm like, it's just like it's virtue signaling. It's like, look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing. Eh, Why don't you do something? Like, don't, if we're just changing our profile picture. It's like saying love and light to everybody, but not actually doing something about that. That was like the biggest thing with Q, was trust the plan, which means don't do anything. Just sit there, don't do anything. During COVID, make sure you guys sit on the couch, don't do anything. Just let things happen, let things play out. And that's what they want. Because even though maybe we are the cattle, we easily could take back control. Hey, BJ, how you doing? Yes. Yeah, exactly, Jacqueline. The right hand and the left hand come from the same head. I've said that about a bird. I said, the right wing and the left wing of the bird are the same shit bird. It's still the same thing. We're just being absolutely played. And it became more and more apparent. And I will say this, I supported Trump on his first I don't know, a term, his first term. Okay, 2016, I think it was. I'm not American, but I was like, yes, I think he actually, in my opinion, did a good job. He turned the economy around. It was very good. Um, it wasn't good for other countries because he brought a lot of the manufacturing back to the US. That's what he was pushing for. Was that it was all pro US. And being that I wasn't from I'm not from US, of course, I was like, oh, man, this sucks because we're losing manufacturing and everything because it's going back to the US. It was great. This term, I would say the only thing that he did that said he was going to do was close the border. He did that. But everything else has been um it's not him. It's Kel and Carol. I think that she is on the vertical live stream because it kind of shows me that it kind of looks. I get a different message, so it looks like they're on. I think they're. I think that they are on the vertical live stream. So let me just do this. See if this shows up. There we go. So Carol is here. Sorry, BJ is here. So as I'm saying, guys, is we got to be careful about being played because hey, Josie's here too. Josie, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. So we all have to just be very, very careful. And my show started with like I wasn't I've always been in conspiracies. I want you guys to all know that conspiracies are something I've always been. No, not always. Um, I started really getting into around 2010. Yes, well, so that's not always. So around 2010, I really started getting into conspiracies because I had my eyes opened, and someone did that for me, and it's just been little by little seeing more and more, and and I would say, like I want to go back to this is that this past year. Oh, I was going back to Trump. Okay, when Trump first got into office the second term, he was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to release these Epstein files. And then something changed. Something big changed. And it was like a complete flip. And he started gaslighting everybody. I think he split the mega, and a lot of people were like, I'm mega, mega. Maybe I was part of the mega. Mega wasn't a cult, was not a cult. Now I think it is. I think it is because when you cannot criticize your cult or your I don't want to say cult. If you cannot criticize your leader or something, then you're being indoctrinated. And if you're being indoctrinated, you're part of a cult. Doesn't matter what it is. You're going to be you're part of something. Yeah, Kel. So how do I have two different? So I'm going to answer some questions here. How do I have two different live streams? I'm now given that option by YouTube to present two different live streams, one in the horizontal and one in the vertical. So I thought I'd give it a try. It seems like it's confusing. I think I can tell who is in the vertical. I think it's Kel is in the vertical. BJ is in the vertical. Josie, I think, Laser, and Laser. Yes, I am Canadian. I am Canadian, but I don't live in Canada anymore. I left Canada. I am now in Mexico, and yeah. So, and I think Carol is in the horizontal. Jacqueline is in the horizontal as well. So, yeah, that's what's going on. So, for those who have just joined as well, the way I started this show today, I was telling everybody that I'm going to be doing the Codex Society book club, and we are going to be featuring Brad Olson's book. And for those who watch the show, you know that Brad Olson has been on two times now. Just the one that just was released. The audio was just released yesterday, and the video released tomorrow. And his book is The Secrets of Antarctica, the Untold History of the Ice Continent. So I want to bring that up again. I'm just going to share that here with you guys so you can all see what this book is. So this is it, The Secrets of Antarctica, the Untold History of the Ice Continent. Okay. And yeah, it's fascinating, extremely interesting. This picture tells a lot. It looks like there's a war from somewhere around World War II with some Grumman's. I don't know what type of plane that is. I used to know, and there's some UFOs looking like Nazi type UFOs and some battleships. And we have pyramid in the background. We have holes in the ice, and we have a U-boat looking like it's coming out from the hole in the ice as well. So that is what we're going to be doing. Okay, we are going to be reading this book, but 3 to 4. We'll see how long the chapters are, and we'll decide on it. I'll make a decision. We'll say like maybe 3 chapters every 2 weeks, and then we'll have a live for members only, and we're going to discuss this. Now, if you are a member, congratulations, you're automatically in. If you are a first tier member, I think that's like a $1.99 tier, you get in. But if you are the second tier member, which I think is like a $4.99, you will be put in a draw that I'll be doing this coming week for 3 free ebooks. I'll be handing the 3 free ebooks out. So if anybody wants in on this, make sure you email me, codexofcuriosities@gmail.com. Now, accident going down in Cuban waters, coincidentally, in World War II, and to have the fifth mount named after the family, Antarctica, what he must have known. Yes. Yeah, fair enough. Interesting. So, yeah. Okay. Back to everything that's going on. So that's what's going on in the world right now. We are in a world that is being overrun. I don't know. Do I have the like, I know what's happening. I know what is happening with the world right now. I know who is what country is kind of running, what country is controlling the US right now, and it's not the US. Trump is being controlled by someone else. I'm not defending him at all. I think he's doing I don't support him at all. I don't support the Democrats at all, though, either. So I just want you guys to know that I am away from that all. So the victims are now asking for all the files to be released. They are not going to continue to be victims while the elite are protected. Most people won't believe it unless it's proven. Yeah, and this is the thing. Okay, let's go back to that list. There was one of the emails where the list had the names of all the victims not redacted. Okay. One name of the victim was redacted, and then the lawyer's name was redacted as well. So we know that was a conscious decision to release the names of these victims. Here you go, everybody. Here you go for the world. But they rejected all these names of the co-conspirators. Like you can't make this stuff up. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. What world are we living in? Like, this is an upside down world right now. I don't know. Sorry, everyone. I'm just trying to grab some iced tea. I'm getting a little parched here. Yeah, we are living in a world that supports. If you are an elite, you can get away with almost any. You can get away with anything. Now, who in the chat actually believes that Epstein is still alive? I'd love to see your thoughts on that one. Who thinks he's still alive? So everybody, go ahead, put yes or no, or maybe, or I don't know. Hello, Karen. Hello, Karen. Yeah, the corruption is so deep. So personally, myself, I think he's alive. I wholeheartedly believe that he is alive. A man of that. Yeah, I believe that he is alive. I don't even know what to call him. I think he is. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Thanks, Kel. So Carol says alive. Josie says no. Karen says rye. Sub not Sue. Okay. And VJ, you say you don't know. Don't know. And I don't know is the only real answer, actually. I think that is the real thing that we can actually say. I don't know. Even did you hear that the doctor who did the autopsy on Epstein has said that maybe we should look at him again. We should look at that. We should revisit it. What? Yeah, you can't make that up. And then after that, I'm sure he'll be found dead. He's alive, Karen said. Jacqueline says no. Josie, he's a demon. Yeah, I don't think he's a demon, but he's either possessed by one or he's something else. Because I believe that there is something else out there. I believe that there is another. I think we're living side by side with another race. Maybe it's very similar to Homo sapiens, but a little bit different. Could be. It's yeah, I don't know is the real answer. It is. Are we living side by side with another race and they know, but we don't know? How would we know? They're gonna know. No one's gonna notice. They're gonna notice. It I think it's becoming more and more obvious. It would be as if we're living amongst vampires, okay? And they only come out in the darkness to steal some people away. And we fear the boogeyman, but we've never seen it. We don't know who. What's behind it is not dead. Yeah. Yeah. There's a picture of a guy with long hair and beard that strongly looks like Epstein. And guess where that was taken, Carol? That was taken in Israel. Israel. Okay. So to say that Epstein was a Russian agent is ridiculous. Okay, Mossad. He was Mossad. So was Ghislaine Maxwell. Mossad. That is the biggest thing. This is weird. It keeps switching me to the other side. Okay, not everyone created has a soul. Yeah, I do believe that, Carol. I do believe that. Dark spiritual powers, demons, or aliens. Please don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos. Of course, of course. Yeah, I have a bunch of new videos. I'm going to so I kind of slowly am starting releasing 2 videos again a week. I'm going to step it up again and do that because um, things are slowing down, and it's time to. I've caught up a bit, so let's do that. So I'm going to be start doing 2 episodes a week. Oh, but yes, so I do believe that we're living side by side with another type of race or humans that are sharing their form, their body with other entities. They've invited in other entities, and in that sense, in my opinion, they're not of our race anymore. They have now become like symbiotes. They're like a symbiotic relationship of sorts, kind of like the black goo from Venom. In not to that extreme. It's not like you're seeing that, but it's like there is something inside of them that is making them do these things and wanting these things. But I believe that if you're born into these families, it's inevitable. It just keeps happening. It gets passed down generation by generation. Yeah, there's bones under his house, blood sacrifice. Yeah, there he had ordered what was it like 200,000 gallon or like 20,000 gallons of sulfuric acid. What? Very very crazy. Yeah. So we are up against something much darker, something much sinister, and it they this entity, this thing, these people, these entities, let's call it that. These entities want us to be separated, okay? And they want us to be fighting over certain things. Common sense will not prevail because they will always find the outliers. They will find the outliers. It's the same thing with like the satanic church. They will find the the outsiders and bring them in and cause them to make chaos. And that is what's happening is that they bring in these crazies, the people that are off the rockers. And the reason why there's so many people off the rockers is because they're introducing more and more SSRIs. Okay. So that is something that if you are on any SSRIs, I would be concerned. I would try to find a natural way to. Sometimes you can't. I understand that. I'm not a doctor, but I would be very concerned about being on them. It's we're not meant to live. Like if we're on something as a treatment, okay, let's remember you're sick, you take some penicillin, it's gone, you're good. That is how medication's supposed to work. It's not supposed to be lifetime. It's not supposed to be lifetime. We are never meant to be chronically ill. We're never meant to be sick our whole life. Donald Trump cousin or aunt calls him a lunatic. Yeah, yeah, I think we're all there. Ashes, good to see you. Good to see you, Ashes. They feed on fear and hate. Yeah, they do. They do. I know I didn't really talk about much today. I just was kind of hitting on some points, making sure you guys know. I want everybody just to be aware. Um, I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm right. I'm not saying that. I just want you guys to understand that there's something really big at play here. And the more I do the show, the more I'm seeing it, the more I'm seeing the truth and what things. Well, I can't even say I can see the truth because it's so convoluted. There's so many lies. I guess I'm seeing more lies. I'm starting to actually see the lies. Trying to find the truth is very difficult. It's it's like Indiana Jones here, and you're trying to search for it, and he's searching for the Holy Grail, and there's like thousands of other cups to choose from. It's very distracting. So we have to make sure we're choosing the right one. And it's not always a fancy. And to choose the right one in reality is God. Just make your choice, choose Jesus, choose God. I'm making my way back there as well, and it's uh, it's quite enlightening, and sometimes it's kind of um, not depressing. I don't want to say depressing at all, but sometimes you look back and you're like, "Oh crap." You start to realize that maybe I wasn't doing as good as I could. And I'm talking from personal experience. I'm not saying you guys. I'm just talking about myself. That like there's things that I could do better. I've been tempted many times, and I failed. I failed so many times, and just I have to repent and not fall for that same trick. Not fall for the devil's temptation. It's kind of what it is. Yeah, God has this. He does. Okay, we know good wins, but that does not mean that we can sit. We shall not sit back. We need to put on our armor, God's armor, and get out there and fight. Ugh, yeah, yeah. How? First of all, just I don't know. You will know. You will know. I can't tell you. You'll know what you should do. That's the bottom line. There's a lot of evil out there. It is. And it's so easy to be distracted and corrupted. I don't say corrupted, I'll say tempted. So easy to be distracted and tempted and to fall for that temptation, you know? That's why, I always think of I keep saying, um, the dark side. There was like this t-shirt I had. It says, "Come to the dark side, we have cookies." It's true. You're being tempted to the dark side is what it is. It's not like this demon fang thing and they're going to scare you into the dark side at all. No. If they show you their true form or what they really are, you will run definitely to Jesus, to God. So they're going to tempt you in. I find I can't watch your videos about demons. Fair enough, Karen. If you can't, don't. I do have a very interesting interview coming up with a that I've done already. It's already weighted. Unfortunately, members can't see it because I'm doing a collaboration with the guest, and his name is Rian, and he is from South Africa, and he started one of the South African Satanic Church. He was one of the leaders of the South African Satanic Church, and I implore you to watch that one though, Karen. It's it's road to redemption is what it is. I think no matter what, we always have that redemption as long as we make the choice, right? You had the two thieves on either side of Jesus, and the one asked for forgiveness. He was almost going to die. He was a thief, and he repented and he asked for forgiveness, and that's it. So we always have that choice. And a lot of people say, well, if we lived in this world with God, like why does God let so many bad things happen? He lets them happen because of the gift that he gave us, a free will. Okay. And you say, well, why do children have so many times people will say, well, why do children have like cancer? Why do they get cancer? I know why. Okay. It's something that we are doing. We're choosing to do something. It has nothing to do with the innocence of the child. The child is, I'm so sorry, but there is something that is being brought into their environment that is causing this. Okay. There is something that we are putting into their body that is causing their body to be unwell. And it's a free choice of the parent to do this. So, why does this happen? Because unfortunately, we make some bad choices. We make some ill informed choices out of fear. I did. It's, I made a choice out of fear. I was asked to do something and I did it half assly, and I made a choice out of fear. And that choice that I made lives with me to this day. Okay. It's, yeah, I, I did not look into something as fully as I should have. And I made a choice to do something for my daughter, and that choice almost killed her. And still in somewhat of denial. It took me almost half a year to acknowledge that not what I had did was wrong, but what I what we what we got the doctors to do was wrong. And I still didn't take responsibility. It took me many years to actually finally take responsibility of how I played into that. So so just know that we're being lied to on many, many fronts. And then they use fear to scare us into make choices that we shouldn't be making. Things aren't properly safety tested. Mm-mm. Oh no, things are not properly safety tested. And at least now there is a lot of people who are stepping forward, stepping into the light. And I will say that, like, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. If not, feel free to ask. And if you do, so there's a lot more people who are stepping forward, and I do too. Sometimes I'll post things on my Facebook or on Instagram about it. Um, but there are they're just not properly safety tested. They are not. Okay. A properly safety tested means that you have a double blind placebo study, okay, against a medicine or whatever else. Okay. You test it against a double blind. That means that no one knows who is getting what, and one side is getting the injection, the other side is getting a saline placebo. In the childhood schedule right now, there was one. I'm going to talk about the schedule that was of last year because they changed it and they reduced so many. But there was one that was only done that, and they only followed the children for 6 months. Okay. So I want you guys to realize that nothing other than just the one has been tested against a double blind placebo study. Every other medicine that you find, you're taking penicillin, it's been tested against a double blind placebo study. Okay. That means that when they see that the medicine has these reactions and the saline doesn't, they know that the medicine has caused this. Okay. And then they can actually present this. But if you test it against something else that is very similar, let's say you use another medicine as the safety group, and then you have use this medicine. Well, someone dies. If maybe three people die and three people die here, then it's fine. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. So that is what's happening. That is what's happening. Okay. They're not rare. It's not rare. It's very it's huge. So the idea of what they stand for is something that I think is noble. I really do. I really think the idea of what they wanted to create was good, but it failed. It failed completely. And instead of actually acknowledging it, they've pushed it further and further, and they've gaslit us further and further. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to stand up and believe what to look into things. It's okay. It's okay to question. Science is supposed to be questioned. Science is never, ever settled. That is the most anti-science thing in the world, is that science is settled. If you hear that statement, they're gaslighting you. Okay. Science is never, ever, ever settled. Ever. Okay. There always are new discoveries, new changes. It's always. Yes, like Josie, I had an allergic reaction to synthetic insulin. I can only have the natural. Yeah. So we and I will tell you this, guys, side effects equals poisoning. So you're being poisoned is what's happening. Okay. So it's to a degree of what is happening, what kind of poisoning we can take. Before I'd seen there was Christian doctors getting killed due to hearing from the kids that offer their check they weren't heading faster in the U.S. considerably, but in Epstein Island. Sorry, I don't understand that. All right. Willing to take that chance if I meant to keep my father and mother safe. After his passing, I was done with that, and I'll never get it again. Yeah, but BJ, it's because you were coerced into it, feared, because you were told you needed to do that to keep them safe. But I will tell you this: there are other things. There's many other things out there that will do the job way better. I'm not a doctor, but they will do the job way better. I take something. I take something that you drink. Okay. It's natural, um, and it works. I've had it heal me multiple, and this sounds crazy. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys about this before I end this. Yes, good job, Karen. Don't get any more. Almost killed my daughter because of a misdiagnosis. She really had bacterial meningitis. Jeez. So, and bacteria can be healed with antibiotics. Viruses cannot. Okay, that's another thing. Is that where are those emojis? Yeah. Yeah. So if you're a member, you actually get those methyl blue. I haven't tried methyl blue yet, Karen. But okay. So I'm going to go on to what I take. I'm not going to tell you what. If you want to know what I take, message me and I'll send you the details. When I say message me, hit me up at codexofcuriosities@gmail.com. Send me a message there. But I take this product that you can make yourself, which sounds crazy. But I'll tell you what it's done. So years ago, I had a staph infection in my knee. Okay. And it was bad. I didn't know what it was. I thought I had twisted my knee. My knee was swollen. And then I thought I had a really bad flu at the same time because I was getting really sick, extremely sick. I had a fever and everything. And I finally went to the doctors and they're like, oh my God, you have a extreme staph infection in your knee. And I was immediately brought in for surgery. They cut my knee open, cleaned it all out, taken care of. And then I was on some heavy antibiotics, like, oh my gosh, messed me up antibiotics. Okay. Now, so fast forward to about a year and a half ago. Or it was a little more than a year and a half ago, I was still part of the Lost Frequency podcast. So it was 2.5 years ago. My knee started bothering me. And I thought I twisted it. Thought I sprained my knee. And I realized it was the same pain. And it was getting worse and worse again. And I knew that this was scary. So I went to I was like, well, I don't want to go to the doctors here. What can I do? So I use this product. Okay. I use the product CDS. Okay. And you can drink it orally. And then there's a way to apply it topically to anything. So we're talking a staph infection. I had a staph infection in my knee again, and I cured it within, I would say, 4 or 5 days by drinking the product and putting it on my knee. Also, my dog and my father-in-law's dog both came down with parvovirus. Okay, parvo can be deadly. It can kill your dog. The one vet told when we had my father-in-law's dog when he got it, they said if he doesn't stay with us tonight, he will die. And then I said, if I don't want my dog dying in some vet, I'd rather take my chances and see what I can do. And within 3 days, he went from almost dying to 85, 90%. We take him back to the vet. That was on a Friday, I think it was, or Saturday. And then they said, bringing him in on Monday so we can see how he is if he survives. And when we brought him in on Monday, um, they couldn't believe what happened. They're like, "What did you do?" And I'm not making any of this up. This is exactly what it is. And then this also happened with my own dog as well. Now, the difference between my father-in-law's dog, how fast he got better was I actually used they gave us these pills, this medicine. So I used the pills and I used that other product. And that product I administer once an hour. And then once every half hour, I was giving him electrolytes as well. Then my dog, she got the exact same thing. And so this time I didn't use the pills. I just used that product I was talking about. And it took a little bit longer. It took about 5 days for her to get we'll say from like almost dying because they said she's got a 30% chance of survival. So it took from a 30% chance of survival to about like 70 to 80%, about 5 days. Okay. Um, and with that, I didn't use that other medication. I was just using that. And so it was once every hour, and then once every half hour was administering electrolytes. Yeah. So Kel, send me an email. Okay. So if anybody is interested in that, please send me an email, codexofcuriosities@gmail.com, and I'll tell you exactly what it is, how to get it. Yeah, parvo is so horrible. It is. It is. But if you're able to, I'm not lying, able to cure twice. Okay. 2 dogs we know had it, cured them both. We also used it to take care of worms. We used that for worms because my dog was infested with worms when we first got her because she was a street dog. So we used that for worms. We also used diatomaceous earth to help rid her of worms as well. If you don't know what DE is, it is crushed up like seashells, fossilized seashells, and you can drink it. You can use it in your garden or anything, and the seashells are like tiny, tiny microscopic razors. So they will kill any type of like insects or bugs, but they will not harm you. And when I'm saying use it in your garden, let's say you have an issue with like ants or worms or slugs, you can put this like all around your garden, and there you go. Uh, all right. Yeah, DE is wonderful. It is. It is. I'm also using zeolite now as well. Using that. So wow, way off topic. Epstein, zeolite, CDS. Okay. And I'll tell you guys what that is. So if whoever wants it, like I said, send me a message and I will tell you more about that. One last time again, guys, I'm going to call it a night here. But if you want into the book club, it is again the Codex Society book club. We're going to be doing it once every 2 weeks. First one will be in 2 weeks. We're going to be using Brad Olson's book, and Brad Olson was on the podcast about 3 months ago, and then again, his audio dropped yesterday, and his video will drop tomorrow, and that's The Secrets of Antarctica. Okay, if you are interested in it, it's The Secrets of Antarctica: The Untold History of the Ice Continent. I have put links in my Facebook. I have put links in Instagram. I have put links in YouTube as well. Okay, I did a YouTube post. All the links are there for the book if you want to buy the book on Amazon. I will be giving away 3 copies of the ebook to the second tier members of my YouTube group. So again, if you want into the book club, come on in and send me a message on my email at codexofcuriosities@gmail.com. Subject line, book club. Okay. And we will read approximately 3 chapters every 2 weeks. So it's not overwhelming. And then we'll have a discussion of it. Maybe it'll be like a half hour, 45-minute discussion. And you guys can ask me any questions you want as well, not even pertaining to the book. Okay. They also have food grade diatomaceous earth as well as gardening. Okay. Okay. What I bought in here, probably because the gardening one, you probably get huge. And then the food grade is probably smaller, much smaller and cleaned. Let's see here. All right. Thank you so much, Rye. Safe. Good night. I love you all. Yes. All right, everyone. Thank you again for joining me. This was an hour. I was only going to go on for like 10 minutes. Okay, everyone. I hope you guys had a great evening. I hope you had a great Valentine's Day, because that is Valentine's Day today. And Michelle, I know you stayed home, but maybe treat yourself to some chocolate or something like that. All right, everyone. Till next time, keep your curiosity wandering, keep the light lit, and always find your way home.
Beneath the stars where shadows grow, the Nephilim's echoes whisper low. Bigfoot roams through the forest deep, and Dogman prowls where the brave won't sleep. Across lost history we wonder why, seeking the truth that time tried to hide. Keep your curiosities wandering and the light lit, through the darkness don't ever quit. In the Codex, the mysteries come, and always find your way back home. UFOs streak through the velvet skies, aliens watch with unblinking eyes. The paranormal hums where silence breaks, in the void of secrets a lantern wakes. Through hidden realms and stories untold, the Codega flame is a light to hold. Keep your curiosities wandering and the light lit, through the darkness don't ever quit. In the Codex, the mysteries come, and always find your way back home. UFOs streak through the velvet skies, aliens watch with unblinking eyes. The paranormal hums where silence breaks, in the void of secrets a lantern wakes. Through hidden realms and stories untold, the Codega flame is a light to hold. Keep your curiosities wandering and the light lit, through the darkness don't ever quit. In the Codex, the mysteries come, and always find your way back home. Legends rise from the Earth's deep core, a lost legacy we can't ignore. With every step, the veil grows thin, revealing worlds where the strange begins. Keep your curiosities wandering and the light lit, through the darkness don't ever quit. In the Codex, the mysteries come, and always find your way back home. Giants, cryptids that come